Anthropic released subagents that can forget they exist after you create them. They also lie about finishing work they never actually did. Here's what I discovered building 6 AI specialists and why I'm having trust issues with Claude Code. Anthropic's vision here is genuinely innovative. Claude Code spawns specialized helper agents, each with their own context, expertise, tools, and instructions. So I decided to put subagents to work extending my virtual museum app. Everything from architecture and coding to security and UX testing. Along the way, I'll share how the subagents architecture actually works under the hood, Anthropic's best practices for agent creation, and what really happens when you run multiple agents in parallel. What I found was a mix of genuine breakthroughs and some, let's call them personality quirks, that you'll want to know about before diving in. But let's start with how this whole system actually works behind the scenes. Subagents use what's called an orchestrator worker architecture. Think of Claude Opus 4 as the orchestrator, like a project manager coordinating a team of Claude Sonnet 4 specialists through the built-in task tool. The system follows a hub-and-spoke model where each agent communicates results back to the orchestrator, their lead agent, not directly with each other. Creating them is straightforward. Use /agents command and follow Anthropic's golden rule. One agent with one purpose. Want a front-end specialist? Make it do just that. The process is simple. Choose global or project-specific, describe what the agent should do. And Anthropic recommends being comprehensive here. Then set tool permissions and only give an agent the tools it truly needs. For example, developer agents need read, write, and additional tools, while code reviewers get read access and the ability to tell you everything that's wrong with your life choices. Each one gets complete context isolation through these configuration files. Depending on your choice during creation, configurations are stored at project level or user level if you want them available everywhere. So I built myself a complete development team. Spec transformer for requirements and planning, primary implementer for development, QA automation testing engineer, security and compliance scanner, code reviewer for the harsh truth, and UX tester for making sure humans can actually use what we build. Time to put these subagents to work and see them in action. I started by asking Claude to plan integrating authentication for multi-user presence, collaborative art creation, chat, and user avatars. Here's where it gets interesting. Claude can automatically pick the right agent based on your prompt, or you can explicitly call one out. That's what I used mostly for this project. Since I mentioned planning in the prompt, it fired up Spec Transformer. Once done, it reported back with distilled results, and Claude spun up Primary Implementer to handle the actual coding. You can run agents in parallel. Like here, Code Reviewer and Automation Engineer are working simultaneously. You can even chain them together, Security Scanner and UX Tester running in parallel, then feeding their results to Spec Transformer for new specifications. The context isolation actually works. One agent crashes and burns, no problem. Doesn't pollute the others or the main session. But then, reality decided to crash the party. Throughout this project, working with Claude Code and agents wasn't as smooth as I initially hoped. Agents started giving me that classic task completed successfully, while my code looked like it went through a blender, and find compile errors everywhere. The agent was supposed to test and verify everything first. Apparently, we have different definitions of testing. Context compaction is still very much a thing, hits at least once per session. When it does, everything gets a bit unpredictable. After context compaction, I'd create a new agent. Claude says, agent created. When I go to use it, agent does not exist. Classic Claude amnesia. Had to start fresh sessions to fix it. And lately, Claude's been having what I can only describe as creative episodes, over-engineering simple problems, claiming fixes that need more fixing. I've seen a lot of people struggling with similar issues in the GitHub issues lately. You end up verifying every single change, which honestly, we should do anyway. But if you've been using Claude for a while, you know this level of creativity is relatively new. Now, Anthropic acknowledges subagents improve context efficiency but increase latency for individual tasks. Each subagent starts with essentially empty context and needs to gather information from scratch. Spinning up multiple agents means coordination overhead. Each agent's actions count against your usage limits and rack up API calls. The latency hit is usually worth it, but it's definitely noticeable when you're running a small army of agents. The good news? When everything aligns, subagents actually deliver on their promise. Context stays clean, you can tackle complex workflows in a single prompt, and having specialized agents makes the impossible feel manageable. The not so good news? You might face agents ghosting you mid-task, claiming they fix things that are still very much broken, and context compaction playing hide and seek with your agents. Look, Claude Code is still my daily driver. I'm not jumping ship just yet. But the agent experience has taught me the fine art of trust but verify. What's your experience with subagents? Did they save time or create new problems? Share your experience in the comments. I read every single one. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe, because apparently I enjoy testing things, so you don't have to. Want me to test another tool that promises to change your life but might just change your blood pressure? Let me know in the comments. And remember, the best AI tool is the one that actually works when you need it to.